All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Healthy Union lunch. Today, we're going to do a play on Brazilian grilled meats, something like you would find in a Brazilian steakhouse. So they always have a fantastic salad bar with lots of offerings. So we're going to bring in a few of those components. We've grilled steak. We're using sirloin today. You could use flank steak or anything that's to your liking. And we're also doing chicken. So we'll create a chimichurri, which is a classic condiment that's offered with the Brazilian grilled meats. But we're going to turn that into a vinaigrette. And we'll dress some beautiful spring salad greens with that. And then we'll compose this entire plate with both the grilled meats, the chicken and the beef, on top of the greens. We also have some marinated onions and tomatoes, which is classic on a Brazilian salad bar. So I'm going to get started with that. It'll be very brief, and you'll have an overview of what we're going to do in the composition for our Friday lunch. All right, so I'm going to get started. First, as I said, we have the marinated onions and tomatoes. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to put together the vinaigrette so that we'll be ready to toss that together with the greens. So I'm going to bring the tomatoes, just get them out of here so that I can retain all of the liquid. These have been marinating for a while. It's in a little bit of olive oil, salt, and a little bit of red wine vinegar. So what the salt does, the vinegar, of course, creates kind of a pickling effect. The salt helps to release all the liquid from the tomatoes and the onions. So we bring all that flavoring into this liquid. And we've julienned these today. The onions have been julienned, purple onions, and the tomatoes have been julienned. You can chop those, whatever's convenient for you. All right, so those are separated. I'm going to bring in the rest of the items for chimichurri. So we have, this would be chopped cilantro. We'll incorporate that. We have chopped parsley, about a quarter cup each. Today we're going to take some liberty and we're going to add some diced, these are grilled or roasted red peppers, sweet pepper. We have garlic, but with the garlic, so that it's not quite so strong, we've sauteed that off a little bit so that it just helps it to be a little more mild and releases some of the sweetness, natural sweetness within the garlic. And I'm going to bring this together, and then we're going to incorporate just a little bit of sugar. These fresh herbs are going to be very vibrant, but we want to use the sugar to help mild that out just a little bit. Got that together. And I'm going to do this to taste. If you like. It'll be very tart and very fragrant, but if that suits your palate, then it's absolutely fine to do that. And I'm happy with that. I said I was. Just a little bit more. All right. I'm going to go ahead and incorporate the onions and tomatoes back into this. I'm going to bring the entire salad together first, and then I'm going to carve the meat, and we'll put the meat on top. Okay? So there's that. Bring the greens in. Nice spring mix. Keep them chilled. And the meat, I grilled a little bit earlier, and I did it in such a way that I let it rest. You know, typically when you grill meat, we get in a hurry and we want to cut it right away. But it's best to let it rest for a little while. We've let this rest enough to bring it more to room temperature. which is exactly where we want it. Yes, ma'am. Okay, I'm going to bring that right onto the plate. Is it piquing your interest yet? Yes? As I said, yes?
Could you substitute any grains besides corn?
Absolutely. That's, we talk about that every time that I do a presentation. That's what's so fun about cooking. You get a basic recipe, and from there, you make it your own. You create what fits your flavoring preferences, and for your family, you want it to fit them. So, all right. So there's the plate of greens. I'm going to set that aside, and we're going to slice the meat. Start with the chicken. Actually, I'm going to start with the beef. Sorry. And this is, as I said, this is sirloin flap. So I'm going to show you the grain on this. You can see that sirloin flap is easy to identify. You can see how large the grain is, and that it's running toward me. Well, if you cut it the way that you would want to, it's going to be very tough. So we're going to cut it down into the size strip that we want. And then from there, we're going to cut across the grain. And you could dice this. You could do this however you like. Again, this is to your liking. And it can be whatever steak that you prefer. As I said, the preparation for this was very, very simple. It's just fresh garlic and salt. Because in this case, the chimichurri that you would apply to it is very fragrant, very flavorful. And so you don't want to mask the meat with a lot of other spices in this case, or herbs, because you have everything you need in the chimichurri. And for this application, within the vinaigrette. And this is rested now probably for the better part of 30 minutes. And I'm going to apply that. I'm going to lay this out right onto the salad. Go. Clear this away. Thank you, Cass. Chicken breast.
And that's marinated with garlic and salt too?
Yes, ma'am. And it's not a lot. It's just enough to bring a little flavor in. You want to let as I keep referring back to the chimichurri, it's such a wonderful, creates such a wonderful flavor profile that you don't want to do a lot to compete with that. This is one of those you really, if you just keep it simple, you're going to be so pleased with the result. If you're challenged for time, for this one, and you're grilling anyway, you can do your grill preparation. Let's say you're having chicken or beef on another night. You can prepare that ahead, and you can let it chill, and you can come back another night or two and use those leftovers to create this. Very, very easy to do, simply done. I would suggest that you consider bringing the meat to room temperature so that it's not a hard chill. All right. Does that look interesting to anyone? Yes? All right. Again, very simply done. Easy to pull together in a hurry. Just a little bit of preparation ahead, and you're ready. So this is our offering for Friday lunch. Grilled sirloin steak and chicken prepared with spring greens, marinated tomatoes and red onions, served with chimichurri vinaigrette. Thank you for being here today.